welcome to my second YouTube video. I'm going to show you how to give myself like a fake facelift using just makeup. The makeup I'm using is all drugstore, so it's so cheap, so easy to do. It's quite a simple makeup, but it just like enhances like all the features you already have in your face. I used to be quite like dramatic and creative with my makeup maybe like a year or two ago. Like I loved getting creative with colour, and then I don't know, I just kind of like lost interest in that, and I just prefer more like glowing, natural, like golden glow looks now. So I kind of went from one extreme to the other. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and get into it, and I'm going to show you how I get from this to this. Your eyebrows first definitely adds like 10 minutes on to doing your makeup, so I was like, right, I'm just going to start doing them after, and that, like, I honestly haven't noticed such a difference. Like, it's not that much of a difference. Like, I find doing my eyebrows like after everything quite okay, but I feel like for this kind of look, because you want your eyebrows to be like really high, I am going to do them first, I think. To be honest, I don't really think it matters, but I'm going to do them first here. I'm just using the Revolution brow pomade in dark brown. I'm using like just like a really fine brush. I'm pretty sure this is from Primark. There's also another one I have about here. Yeah, this is from Amazon and it's called Lamora. That wee brand there, and it's Lamora, and it's so affordable. I have so many of the blending brushes and face brushes from there. I can't remember the price. I'll link some brushes that I've bought down below. So affordable and literally so good. I like, once you find these things, you're like, why did I even bother buying expensive stuff like when these are the same as them into my brow? Oh, I feel so uncomfortable. For doing my brow, like the way I used to would have done it was like draw my line underneath there and above, fill it out and then blend it, and then it would have looked like a really sharp brow. But I'm going for like a more fluffy brow with this. So I always start here. So I'm not sure if you've seen that TikTok trend as well where they shave the end of their brow off. I did do that, and I'm not being a bad influence. Maybe don't do it. Every beautician will kill me for saying this, but it's like really good. It only a wee tiny bit. Like my brow used to go way down here, and I just shaved like the end of it off. Yeah, I just love it because it does like sit up. It gives you kind of like an eyebrow lift. Start up here. Do you know what I mean? Like bring the brow up and then just fill it, and it literally just gives you like an eyebrow lift. Like that, and I kind of do it really roughly. Like look at the difference to that. It just gives you like a fake eyebrow lift. And then I just kind of feel like I like go really lightly, and I try and like, I'm not even mad if it's messy because I kind of like want it to be as natural as possible. And then I just kind of like roughly fill in here, and I'm not using much product at all. Then I am just gonna fill the front and then just blend it upwards. And I mean when I say I used the tiniest bit of product for that, the tiniest, any wonder this lasted me so long. And if you feel like there's any sparse areas, you can fill it in. It's also totally personal. Like if you prefer to have lighter brows, then keep it like that, or if you want to like fill it in and make it look darker, I suppose it depends on your hair color as well, then you can go ahead and do that. But so I just went in and filled the other brow, and I feel like there's such a difference already even by just doing the brows. So I'm just using the Lasting Perfection Collection Concealer. Focus on carving out the end and just trying to like bring that brow, lift that brow even, like look at the difference already, like seriously. Just bring that brow lift up a little bit more and just clean up underneath. I don't like the end to be too sharp either. I kind of like it being I don't know, again, personal preference, but I do like it to be quite like blunt or something. And then I roughly just kind of clean up underneath here because with like very little concealer, because I just don't want it to look too harsh underneath the eye. And then I'll just fill in the rest of my eyelid to prime for ready for eyeshadow. The best thing about this makeup look is it literally doesn't take that long. So if you're like, you know, going out and you're like rushed, you're working and you've only got like an hour to get ready, like I feel like this is definitely possible to do. So I'm going to go in with eyeshadow now, and I am very boring with my eyeshadow. I'm just going to use warm brown tones. I'm using the Clientele Be Perfect palette by, the Makeup by Ja Clientele palette by Be Perfect. That's a mouthful. This is probably my favourite palette by Be Perfect so far. Like I love the Stacey Marie, and it was my favourite back when I adored doing colours, but like cause I'm more like the more neutral, natural kind of colours, this is now my favourite palette. And as you can tell, I'm boring because I use these two colours the most. So I'm just going to go ahead and with the Dirty Tan, which is what I have right now. Story of my life. So I'm going to focus more on the top, kind of like, or the above the crease, sorry. And I'm just using like a small fluffy brush. This is actually from the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. What one was it that was out? The Renaissance palette, was it? Years ago, that everyone loved. And literally like that's kind of like all I do. Like I just like deepen it up depending on my mood. Sometimes I'm like, I can't be asked with too much eyeshadow today or tonight, and then other days I'm like, I want to go all out. I also forgot to say, when I was applying the concealer onto my lid, I kind of like brought it all, the concealer right out here, just so that I can like blend the eyeshadow right out. If you struggle with like trying to get that perfect blend, a tip is literally like just like don't go too harsh in the eye, like just really gentle, like an artist's touch. And just blowing that out, blow it up. Use your initiative, like when it comes, like there's no set rules. Like there's obviously techniques that help, but if you have like your own little thing that helps you, then stick with it. So now I'm going to like kind of do a crease, but a rough one. The other side of the Anastasia Beverly Hills, like just like that kind of brush is quite good for things like this. Oh. You know, because like if you're going to do like a harsh cut crease, then a brush like that, like a flat one, might be good. But I'm just going to do like a really soft one, so I'm just going to like dab it into my brush into the concealer. Jeez Louise. And then I'm just going to like dab it all over the lid. And like even like use your finger. Like it doesn't really matter what you use, as long as you're just trying to achieve, yeah, you're just trying to achieve like that really soft crease look. Literally just like that, you can see like it just softens it out. I'm going to go on to the liner. I'll not lie, I am obsessed with using like my pomade brow for eyeliner, so it does like a brown finish, but I'm going to use black today, just to be dramatic about the situation. So I'm going to use the Carter Beauty Supreme Gel Liner. I go between this and the Maybelline one, but this is just the one that I have at the minute. So again, I'm just going to use the eyebrow brush as well, the really super flat one, and I've just put in a generous amount of product, and I'm going to use my hand. I'll clean it after. I know a lot of people don't like using their hand to like try and flatten the brush like that, but I just like, I've used like surfaces before, like makeup palettes, the lid of the eyeliner, and it just doesn't work the same as your hand. Like I get like a really sharp brush when I use my hand. So, the thing about doing your eyeliner when you're trying to give yourself a facelift, is you want like it to be like quite high, so you don't want it to be like, because sometimes you can make your face look drippier with an eyeliner by like going down the way, so you want the eyeliner to be like going that way so that you look flaky. I'm going to just, first of all, I kind of like just like literally colour in the line, and I kind of stop halfway to like, oh, to there. And then I kind of like, once I do that, I kind of like draw where I want the line to go, so, and I do it quite high. If it's not high enough, you can fix it, but I think that should be fine. So I'm covering it. Like, I do think that could go higher if I'm being honest. I'm so nervous doing this on camera. Like, usually I'm just slapping it on, but because people are watching, I'm like a good thing to do as well, like holding your eye back and like doing like that. I never mess my eyeliner up. What? I'm sweating. Oh my god. I'm actually sweating. So I kind of like stop here and trying to make that kind of like blend in with the rest of my lid. That's not high enough for me. Like, can you see? Like, that's actually a good example how it can make it look droopy. So I'm going to just like try and make that go higher. So I'm just going to clean it up just with this concealer. I'm not going to put any more on. I'm just going to use whatever concealer is on it. I'm just concealing this up as far as I possibly can. So I kind of like start from the like inside of my lash line rather than the very end, and then I like just go directly up, and then I go back down into like 3/4 in, not halfway but like 3/4 in. And then once that was done, I used this little brush here that's on the top of this just to like fill underneath my lash line, because I hate when you can see like the pink bit of your underwater line or whatever you call it. Put on a little bit of mascara, not too much, just enough. I'm the worst at explaining things, so I'm sorry if this makes no sense whatsoever. But I'm going to go on and finish my other eye, and I'll be back. So I have done my other liner there, and can I just say I done this one no problem at all. When the camera's not on you, it's like just so much easier. Then I'm going to go on with the eyelashes now. So I'm actually just going to make these tacky, but first, and then I'll go on ahead with the makeup. But can I just let you know what lashes these are? So these are little ones I got off Amazon, and if you're going to do this look, it's always better to get like a cat eye kind of eyelash. These are off Amazon for like, I don't even know, like it was like £6 for 5. I'll find the order and link the eyelashes down in the description box. So I'm going to just cut these like maybe like 3/4 of the way so that they're not like over this side of the eye. So I'll just cut like the one maybe off the front. I've already cut these by the way because I wore them and I didn't cut them, so I'm just, yeah, so maybe I cut 2 at the front and then maybe 2 at the end. So it kind of just makes it like a really short lash. I see a lot of people doing it like cutting them in half, but for me it's just like a little bit too much. Add glue on them and just let them sit. I let them usually sit for like 2 minutes, and then I add more glue on it, and then I let them sit for like 2 more minutes, and I add glue on my own eyes, eyelids, and then I let that sit for like a sec. Or no, I don't even let that sit for a second, then I just apply them on then. So while they are being tacky, I'll just go on to my foundation. So for foundation, I'm going to use a mix between these. This Clinique Beyond Perfecting is my most favourite foundation ever, and as you can see, I am scraping around the edges to get the very last bit of it. And then I'm also going to mix it with the Maybelline Superstay, is it? I think it's called Superstay foundation. I like mixing them too because the Maybelline's really matte and then the Clinique's really like tacky, so it kind of like gives you that nice balance between the both. And I have already moisturised and done my skincare as well, by the way, before I started that, because I don't do anything really fancy. I just put like my moisturiser and my Tropic moisturiser, my Tropic toner spray on. So I didn't really add that in, but it's just not that exciting. So I'm just going to blend that all over my face with a brush, and then I like to set it in with a beauty blender. Just add a little bit more. I also like to leave my own foundation to sit by itself, let it sit and dry by itself before I put any setting powder on it, because I feel like if it's really wet, you tend to like put loads of setting powder on it, and then it just really dries it out and like gives that nice glowy look away, or like takes that nice glowy look away, which we obviously don't want. So I like to like kind of take my time with the beauty blender and like really pat it into the skin, and then let it dry by itself before I even like, I let it dry and then I go back in again with the beauty blender. I'm just going to use like a wee brush just to kind of like soften out those edges at the side there. And then I'm just going to go in with that Collection concealer again and just put a little bit on under my eyes. Ooh. Oh yeah, I'm going to contour my nose a little bit as well. I don't really like my nose being too pointy because I feel like or like thin, because I feel like I've got quite a pointy nose as it is. And I feel like if I thin it out too much, it makes it look a little pointier, so yeah. Get the rest of my foundation set and my nose contour set a little tiny bit. I'm just going to apply my lashes. Okay, so that's the lashes applied. I'm going to do the nose. I definitely left the concealer on too long. It's probably pure dried in. To be fair though, I don't do anything like spectacular nose contouring. I'm actually not that good at it. I kind of do it and then like I forget to do it sometimes, and then when I do it, I'm like, was there really like that much of a difference? I just want to use like this brush where I use my eyeshadow, kind of like clean off excess, and I kind of just like fly down it. Like I really don't do anything that amazing with it. Did that even make a difference? I don't know. It'll do the job. I'm not going to add any eyeliner underneath my eye. I'm just going to add like a little bit of eyeshadow, just the same eyeshadow that I used above my eye. Just gives it like a little bit more depth and balances it out without making your eyes look too droopy. One thing I really like to do, and I'm living for at the minute, is adding highlighter before my setting powder. It just like blends in so much nicer and it doesn't look as harsh. I'm going to use my Sub-Zero palette by Mitchell and Be Perfect. And I'm just going to use like a big brush for this, so it's like kind of like, I don't know, not too targeted in one area. I kind of want to blend it out all over the face. I'm going to go between Babyliss and Lifestyle. This is a mess, I'm sorry. All my makeup is a mess. And I'm just going to like pat that in the area that I want to have. Like, so before I add my setting powder, I kind of like put it in like a bigger area. I'm not very good with my words, am I? And then once I've done my setting powder, like I use a smaller brush and like target like the higher points of the face with a little bit more. Glowy. Just gonna go in with some setting powder. So I go between like Airspun and Stay Matte, really. Nothing too fancy, and I don't really use that much. I prefer to put on less and then bring it with me. And if I feel my face is oiling up, I'll just add some more. I'll have it in my wee bag and just add some more. That way I'm not looking too mattified all the time. Now I'm going on to bronzer and contouring. If I'm being honest, I don't overlay contour. I like do it because I feel like I have to, because it's like, I don't know, you know when like everyone contours, so you just kind of like, oh yeah, I'll contour. But then I always see like photos or videos and I just catch a big dirty mark, unless I'm just not doing it right. I don't know. But I just prefer to just bronze, kind of contour with my bronzer. So I'm going to use the Note bronzer in the shade 30. This is so pigmented, you need so little of it, because sometimes you just slap it on and it's like a big brown mark. And I'm just going to go blend it in gently. Again, just using like a really soft touch. And you can see how that already is blending in with that highlighter I applied before the setting powder. Just like, it's like just quite soft rather than a harsh highlighter line, which I see a lot. And I'm putting this really high up on my cheekbone as well. Like, I'm not going down here, I'm doing like quite high up. It looks pretty non-pigmented to me. I'm just going to bronze my forehead, just like around the edges. And then I'm going to add some blusher, which is just the Soft Glow Blusher by Collection. Literally just a little cheap red blusher. I never really like, I know you're supposed to add it to your apple cheekbones, but I just kind of like do it where my bronzer is, which is probably not right, but like I said, I don't follow rules in makeup, I just do what I want. So almost done. I just need to finish off my eyebrows and my lips. I'm not a fan of soap brows whatsoever, just because when I done them one time I went out and it got really warm and I sweated and literally my eyebrows like sudded and just came off, and I was like, why, like who made this a trend? What the fuck? So no, I'm not a fan. So I just started using hair gel. I use like the Got2b one most of the time, but generally I just like grab my brother's or my boyfriend's or my dad's hair gel, whatever one is closest to me, to be honest, and I literally like just squeeze it out. I mean the tiniest bit, and I'm just going to brush the hairs up just to give it like that more fluffier look. And then I'm going to do my lips. Yeah, so the sharper the lip liner the better, and I'm going to be using the Kiko lip pencil in the shade 533, and I just kind of overdrawed a Q-hito. And then I just like bring it down. I don't really overdraw like these bits, just like up here. I just give it like a better doll shape. And then I don't overdraw my bottom lip at all because it's quite big already. And I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Superstay lip kind of matte lipstick in the shade 55, which is like a nude. These are good, but you definitely need lip gloss with them because you know when a matte lipstick is like so dry on your mouth that it like crinkles up. It's not fun. I'm just gonna go in with some lip gloss. Literally any lip gloss will do. I've been accused of having cheek fillers like a few times before, which is actually quite funny because the day before I found out that people were saying I had cheek fillers, I was crying, Taryn. I was literally crying. I was like, because someone took a photo of me like and I was smiling and my cheeks were like massive, and I was like, oh my god, like that's just where all my fat goes to, my cheeks. And I was like, oh my god, I have the fattest cheeks ever. And I was like going mad crying, and the next day someone goes, do you have cheek fillers? And I was like, no. I just realised that I completely forgot to do an outro on this video, so I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope it was even nearly a little bit helpful. And if you liked, please like my video and subscribe and all that good stuff. Bye. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Up him. Come on. Come here. Come on. Resist a wee cuddle, can you? See, he loves a cuddle and he's scratching the belly.